Cragg Farm then is 325 acres. I class it as an upland farm. We run from 700 to 1,000 feet, all grass, not flat at all, up and down. We run 400 breeding ewes, Lleyn. Everything has something to do with the Lleyn, but predominantly we have a pedigree flock of 380 purebred Lleyns.
And when was it that you got into the Lleyn breeds? How long have you been in it?
The late 90s.
And what was it that drew you to the breeds?
Traditionally, we were, as I say, we're an upland farm. We had horned ewes, rough fells, and we brought draft ewes at 2 and 3 crops, and we thought we wanted to breed our own. So.
And what attributes is it about the breed that stood out in comparison to the rough fells you were running?
The white-faced, we could produce a saleable lamb. They'd less wool, and we had a more superior conformation. And initially we were just planning to buy some Lleyns, and we crossed them with a Charolais. But then we realised we should be breeding them. We wanted to breed them.
So you're a closed flock now yourself?
Oh yes, yeah, and have been.
And is that for health status?
Yeah, health status, but it's also, it's great to just breed your own replacements. I have first pick of what I want to keep. And
how many females are you retaining each year?
Between 60 and 70. Yeah. And I do, roughly, I do tup some of them, and which they grow on, and when you're keeping them, you do them well, and then they grow on and do fine.
Yep. And we've seen today, obviously, you crossed them over to other breeds. And so what was the kind of background behind that? Why did you pick the blue-faced Leicester?
Well, initially I went with the Texel, and I still do. And I like the Texel cross. They're great sheep to work with. You have a big, powerful, strong sheep that produces a good breeding female. I went crossbred we're in a very mule orientated area here, and so it's always been traditionally a mule area. So I thought that if we can breed a mule out of other breeds, I could definitely breed him a really good ewe, a really good mule out of a Lleyn. So I've gone with the traditional blue-faced Leicester over the Lleyn, and I've produced some fantastic lambs, fast-growing, milky ewes, and I've put the Texel back over that cross, and I've got some really good lambs to sell, both fat and breeding-wise.
Yep. And you've got a target market being in a mule area. It's just an alternative mule to offer to the buyers there. And have you had any feedback from people that have bought?
Yes, yeah, I've been selling them for 3 years now, and I've returning customers, and they're crossing them with all sorts of breeds really, but they're really good and really big, powerful, good skins. That's what I like about them. There's some strength, they've a bit of capacity, milky. My Lleyn Mules scanned at 200% for 2 years now. So.
And do you think that's the difference? Because we've spoken to quite a few people that have tried various breeds as various crossbred ewes to be running on a commercial system. Is it the Lleyn genetics put to all these different terminal sire rams? Do you think that makes a difference in producing an ultimate breeding?
Without doubt, yes. Yeah, the backbone of it is the Lleyn, the Lleyn ewe. You've got to breed a good Lleyn ewe that has. I class myself as a mid-range Lleyn breeder. I haven't gone for extreme in any traits. I've tried to stay the middle of the road, a bit of strength, some conformation, a tight skin, but I really do like the whiteness and the long nose, long heads that indicates the maternal side and the milky side. So I haven't tried to go extreme in any way, but I've kept a balanced sheep that still resembles a Lleyn, and I'm. Yeah.
And in comparison with your crossbred crossbred flock and your pures, is there much difference in performance, or would you say they're on par? There's just different elements that...
I'm not going to say one's better than the other. I think the mules, the blue-faced Leicester crosses probably grow faster, and I can get some of those away a bit sooner, which helps me. So it ties up some better grass for lambs later on. But the clins probably hold flesh better. So it's a balance between the two really, and I've found it works well having both crosses.
And both flocks are obviously there for different purposes. You've got your crossbred to produce fat lambs and breeding replacements as well, and to sell on, and you've got your pure flock to target society sales. So
to keep me replacements, to target society sales, to breed some tups and rams.
So you're covering all aspects.
I'm trying to cover everything really.
Yeah.
And it seems to work.
And what's the split? How many are you taking female-wise to society sales every year, and then comparison to lambs either going through live weight or dead weight markets?
Roughly, there's just over 300 gimmer lambs, ewe lambs to sell every year, and there'll be a few more wether tup lambs to sell. And
how do you find the kind of grade or in terms of comparison to your Texel cross lambs in the live ring? Where do you think they stand?
With the Texel cross, you will get a premium. You will get a better. You've a smarter looking lamb. You've got the back end in it and a good loin and back in it. Whereas as your clin won't be far off. Consistently R3Ls. Nearly every lamb will be R3L and better. They're a maternal breed,
yep.
And that's probably where some people get the clin wrong.
Yep.
They are a maternal breed, and that's you've got to keep the milkiness. You need the milkiness, and the number of lambs at the end of the day is what grows the lambs, and it's all to do with what you have to sell at the end of the day.
Do you think that's what the clin brings to the sheep industry? Obviously every breed has their place in the industry, but where do you think the clin stands amongst competitors? Because you've got so many that are reaching to be the maternal yow of them all. Where do you think the clin lies within all of that?
I always say to people, you've got to try a clin to see what it'll produce you. But it's a milky, prolific, scanning at 200%. We're just slightly below, sometimes we're slightly above. So you've got the lambs. It's easy lambed, which is great in lambing time. They come out very easy. They're streamlined, but they get up on the feet. They suck. They get out. They keep on that mother's tit, and just the ewe milks, and like as you've seen today. These lambs are lambed very last few days of March, predominantly April, and they just grow.
So there's such a variety, and they can offer anything to any farming system, lowland, upland, or really high hill grounds.
Yes, I always say that they're not a fell sheep. They'll go where it's green.
Yeah.
But there is people trying them on fells now and succeeding. And what I also say to people is you can breed a clin to how you want it.
Yep.
So if you want more conformation in your sheep,
yep.
you buy a tup with more conformation, and if you want the milkiness, you'll go for a longer head and whiter features. So they are a very versatile, quite unique breed really in the sheep industry.
And the initial aim of getting into the breed, do you feel like you've accomplished that? And going forward, have you got anything else you want to do with the breed going forward? Or are you quite comfortable where you're sitting at the moment?
At the moment, I'm quite comfortable. I think the crossing with the Leicester has great potential.
And any advice to somebody looking to get into the breeds? What would you tell them? Where would you send them? What advice would you give them?
I would say go to a society sale. You can see the variation in the sheep, and you can pick the style of sheep that you like, and then try 2 or 3 pens and see how you go on. And most times people come back the next year and you want him more. So, but until you've tried them, I think you've got to try them first. Try them, see if they suit you and suit your farm, and you'll be on a winner.